my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. Today is Peace and Quilt Day. We do that once a month. It is a quilt along from my friends Lisa Alexander and Susan Aki's book, Celebrate with Quilts. There are so many fantastic things in this book. And I'll talk about that again in a second. But first we're going to do the celebrations of the day. Can you see what's behind me? Strawberries! It is Strawberry Day. Now this is a quilt along we did when my birdsong fabric came out, and the pattern is from my bestie Wendy Shepherd. She's so clever. It's got these adorable stars for the tops of the strawberries, and it was so fun to do this with my birdsong fabric. Super cute, super cute. It is actually quilted with wool batting. So it's got a little bit of a lift and puff to it. So I will do, let me get the other camera and I'll just show you close up. Let's look at the quilting, and you can really see with the wool batting here how it puffs out like that. That is all because the wool batting is fluffy, and after you quilt it, it will fill in. It's almost like mini trapunto. It's like, you know, like faux trapunto. If you use wool batting and your designs allow for some relief, you get this effect. Trapunto is actually a technique where you would feed in extra batting to make something super puffy and you know, have more relief. So it's got swirls, and the strawberries all have, you know, you can see it best on there because, like, you know, here you really can't see that. There you can see it again, see the design. So that, and then out here on the edge, more of the swirls and X's. This was putting my Harmony wide back in the light green, which works so well with birdsong. Okay, so there it is up close, and I love this. I love this on there. But wait, there's more. Apparently, I haven't showed you this for a long time. And I wasn't doing as many videos at the time that I made this, so it was primarily a quilt along that we did on my website and in my community group, Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. So it has this is my first strawberry quilt that I am not sure that I've showed you on videos lately. And I looked, and it was done in 2017. So this is a pattern by Sew Emma. Let me get the top of it, because, you know, I can't be holding quilts upside down. That's a no, 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 no. Can't do that, can't do that. But here we go. And I did red strawberries for this one. So fun. I really, really loved making this one. And we got a little red and white stripe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the backing on this one, so yummy. Yeah, so yummy, that fabric. The quilting, let's see, I think you can see it. My buddy Cindy, my bestie Cindy, had done this for me with the strawberries. Yeah, isn't that so cute? It's an overall, and it just, in that green fabric, I mean in that green thread rather, you can really see it. So this was really fun to pull out lots of my reds, red and whites. So super fun one to do. And while I'm standing up, so before I fold those, I finished the binding on the Quilted Witch's Garden. So let me just show you that. Here we go. Oops, it's upside down. No, 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 no. Not doing that. These are long quilts today. Long. So there we go. Binding is on, and I'm going to send this to my niece. See, there's the binding, and I did scrappy binding. So let me just scroll you by the scrappy binding. See, then it goes to the plaid, and they're just long strips because they were kind of what I had. You know, I just used what I had. I didn't worry so much. See, so cute. And I used my drawing room. Show you that again. The drawing room wide back in the light. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah, okay. So that one is done. Let me just fold those two. So besides being Strawberry Day, it is also Bee Day, sweet little bees. And so I want to show you a pattern that I have held on to. I bought this several years ago by Krista Moser, and many of you know her patterns, and many of you know this pattern. It is a smallish one at 42 by 48. She calls it a baby quilt size. It is so cute. It does use super fun Creative Grids ruler, these gigantic diamonds to create, so isn't that cool? Create this and then the bee. I so want to make this, and I'm going to digress here for a second. I'm going to digress. Yeah, you know me. Yeah. So there have been so many. There are on my list so many things I want to make. Like this one is because I haven't played with this ruler before. I love the graphics of it. I love the big giant bee. I would love to hang it in my dining room area. I just think it would be so awesome. And I just have not fit these things in. Why? Why haven't I fit them in? And I'm sure. Well, first. I have too many. I have so many want to makes, and I'm sure that you feel as a quilt maker and a maker in general, you know, you're a maker personality. You want to make things, and you see stuff, and you're like, I can make that. That'll be so much fun. And we only have so much time in the day to make. And my video channel here, that's what I do, is I make stuff, share what I make, you sew along, or you just watch and enjoy it, and you know, that's kind of what I do. And so I want to start incorporating more things like this, which I've held on to. There's a slew of things like this. So I'm going to start sort of working through and adjusting the kind of stuff that I make. I'll have some of the same stuff, but then a little bit of things like this, where yes, if you don't have the ruler, I'm not sure you can actually make this easily without it. But it's something I want to play with, and even if you don't want to do this, you might hopefully enjoy just watching the process and seeing what it looks like, and then maybe you think like, yeah, that'd be fun. This is such a gigantic ruler. That's the part. I love oversized things. I love little tiny things, but I don't really like making them. So I like making anything that's oversized. So this appeals to me on like so many levels. So that is the Buggy Bee. So that is something fun, a bee quilt. I don't have a quilt that's just bees. I was given a paper piecing, an English paper piecing, you know, like you turn the edges under, English paper piecing one. It has a bee in it too, that quite a few, like 2019, I think I was given that, and it's in my pile, but I don't do a lot of hand work, so this appeals to me right now. Okay, there we go. Let's talk piece and quilt, and then at the end, you want to stay to the end because I'm going to show you some quilt. I'm going to not show you quilt. I'm going to... Okay, piece and quilt, celebrate. Now, what I did is, let me show you the 2 blocks for this week. Oh no, wait, let's do something else first. Wait, let me show you, let me show you. On the page, the project page, is a JPEG, a photo of the schedule. And you can just click the photo and then print it off, or you could just go and look at it. What I'm finding is, because this one has multiple blocks on some months, because it's a block, it's a monthly project with, you do a couple of the blocks. I'm finding it's easier to have this printed and in the book, because otherwise I was going back and forth to the computer, and it just was, you know, this is easier. So there you go. So that is one thing I'm doing. Now the quilt in here, the book version, is the one on the cover. Wait. Is the one on the cover, which is here inside the book as well. And when you come to the pages like this in the book, it tells you all the blocks that you're going to need to make. Let me just show you that page. So here are all the blocks that you need to make for this quilt. And then that schedule tells you what we're making, what weeks. So we've already done this, which was incorporated into one large block, which I'll show you again. And then this week we're doing one of each of these blocks. The book itself, the patterns come in multiple sizes. And so you can see, like, there's a 3-inch size, a 6-inch size, a 9-inch size, a 12-inch size. And so the paper here tells us, let me just put my clip, otherwise I have to hunt again. The paper tells us what size we're making. We made 3-inch and 6-inch last week. This week we're making 9-inch and 12-inch. So you do have to look at that. This is the page number, okay? So the other thing I did is I want to talk just about the color of the blocks, because that's what I'm doing. I'm not picking fabric for this one here. I'm just showing you the blocks each month and the colorations that I did. Plus you have the original, which is slightly different colors than mine, and you have the one the Fat Quarter Shop is doing, which is all blues and greens. So it's a totally different color family. So here are mine first, my 2 blocks for this month. And I have got a lot of peach following the example. The Fat Quarter Shop did a mock-up using this fig tree fabric. It's new fabric out. And so the mock-up has these, you know, colors the fabrics from that line. Come on, Pat, get the words out. So there's a big floral, and that's kind of what the original has, and the blue and green version. But I went to the computer just to walk through the project page so you can see what all is there. So let's take a look. So we start at my website, I Love to Make Quilts, and to get to the project page, you go down to the current projects running, and here's Piece and Quilt. So we're going to just look at the 2 samples. This is from the book, and the fabrics I'm using are similar except no blue. Mine doesn't have the blue in it for the fig tree fabric. So here is Shoreline, and I'm just going to, you can just scroll in if you have a screen that scrolls in. You can also just say open image in new tab. So if I wanted to look at it over here, it still needs to scroll in a bit. Okay, so on here, this is in the Shoreline, this block and this second block. So these 2 blocks, this is a block that we did last week. We will be making these 6 blocks here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of them? I forget how many, but there's a bunch of those. And we'll be making those. So you can always come look at the diagram, particularly if you have a color family that's similar to this one, the light blues, the greens. You can kind of plan your placement if you want using that. With mine, we scroll down a little bit, and here is with the fig tree fabric, and let me just pull it a little bit. So, and mine has got the raspberry red, the peach, aqua, light green, and some taupe. This sort of brown is kind of the taupe that you're seeing, and you see it. So I've got, this is the first block, here's the second block, and third block for this week. So that was week, you know, month 1 rather, last month, April, and this is May. So there you go. You can take a look. And then I will post my individual pictures down here so that you can see them. And I believe this link goes, that one goes to a blog post. So it might either go to a blog post or it goes to the video. If it goes to the blog post, the video is on there. But I'm not actually sewing these, as I've said. I'm just, you know, making them and showing you the colorations that I'm using. So, okay. That's where you can find all the information, particularly if you want to really sort of study color placement in 3 different ones, because you also have the book version to look at. So that lets you kind of know what's available, and if you're sort of thinking of jumping in, or maybe you're going to do one of the other samplers that's in this book, and you're thinking about the colors and how they are spread around the project, those photos will help you immensely, plus the photos in the book, which is another colorway. Kendall is also sewing this, our ambassador Kendall, so you might go and check his YouTube or check his photos in the Quilt Along with Pat Sloan group for another coloration. So I'm using these big bags, which fit the 18-inch board. so perfectly. Thank you to our ambassador Barbara, who suggested I try putting that in there, and it worked. It's so cool. Love that. I've got this and the charity ones in each of the bags. These bags are sold out because y'all went and bought them. Y'all bought them all, but they said to put a notify, so it might come back in. I'll let you know if they come back in. So here was, I'm going to just hold all the blocks, all three. So we've got kind of working across the top row of this quilt. So there we go. Look at that. I love this peach and green. This is such a springtime quilt. I think that when this one is done, I will probably keep it for a while. Maybe look at if I can make it big enough for bed quilt. I don't know. Is it a bed quilt size? I have a queen size bed. Is it bed quilt size? I don't know. Why don't I know that? Why don't I know the size of it? Hold on. Okay, found it. 72 by 91, which means the 91 part, which is the length, is great. That's good. The 71 part is not long enough for a hangover for me on a queen size, because the top of your queen size bed is 60 inches. So that means there's only a 5.5 inch drop on either side when you put this on. And I prefer a little bit wider drop. And so I'm going to see, I don't know if I can either make this wider, this outer border a bit wider on each side, or maybe just do another strip on each side. So when it's done, take another side strip, like another fabric, maybe one of the lighter ones from the line or something, and make another 3-inch piece on either side so I can get the sides of it. Because I think this would be so pretty on the bed. I think that would be cool. Okay, so there are the blocks. Next week, I think I can start sewing. I can start sewing some of this first row together next week, which is awesome. So I love that. That's my favorite thing. And there is not much sashing in here. I believe most of this you're doing sort of side by side. Yeah, let's look. So yeah, there's some like the one from this week has some sashing around it. So I could even do that now. I could address that now rather than waiting, so that I can start getting it all sewn up as we go and get rows done, which is fabulous. All right. I want to tell you, I donated some more quilts. So here's the photo. 21 more quilts of mine are going to new homes, and they go to various places. Some are given to organizations where they will raffle or auction the piece to raise funds, which is amazing. That's where a lot of them go. Some of them go to maybe, facilities where people could really use a nice hug, to make their lives a little bit easier. Different types of facilities, might be for children, it might be for families. And then a lot of the smaller ones are finding homes to decorate those types of facilities that help other people. And I just am incredibly honored that my pieces might give somebody a little bit of joy and decorate an area. Because I make a lot of small things, they are a bit harder to donate. And so it is, table runners, small wall hangings, they're not things that you give to somebody to keep warm. So they, or to snuggle in. They need to go somewhere else. And even table runners can actually be turned on end as wall displays, depending on the design. And so they are finding good homes. Because that's what I do now. And practically everything I make eventually will be given to charity. But some of them I'm keeping for a while to enjoy for myself, to switch out and decorate. And then eventually some of those go to new homes too. I am a maker. I just like making them. And so this is just fabulous. I have a lot of the fabrics that I get and the battings and stuff are all donated from manufacturers for me to work with. And then if they are quilted, I'm paying for the quilting on them, for almost all of them. Occasionally one is quilted as a charity from the long armor, but most of the time I'm paying to have them long arm if I'm doing that. Or some of the wall hangings I've quilted myself, you know, that kind of a thing. So that's kind of a status. If you have a lot of tops or finished quilts that you're looking for a home, I have a website page where there's lots of organizations that accept tops and quilts, and they may even accept supplies. So this is the little icon you look at on the, you know, the good things to know page of mine, which is at the top. It's where I tell you, you will promise to go and look. You wouldn't forget about them. But this page has tons of good information, and it's by either like sort of overall organizations and then listed by state organizations and country, you know. But look in the comments too, because comments are open there, and if you have an organization, you can put it in the comments, and then people can look down there now, and you might find an additional organization. So I just wanted to remind you that that is out there. I created that. I have always wanted to create that for many, many years, and finally did it a couple of years ago. And so I don't want you to forget that's a resource if you're looking for things. So the other thing I saw, just one of those things I saw out there on the internet. Oh, actually it's on Fat Quarter Shop website, and I thought, like, oh, remember I said there's things I'd like to make, like, oh, that's so cute, is this posy wreath by Robin Pickens. She has a Christmas line, and this is made with the Christmas line. It is so stinking cute. I did not order it, but I thought I'm going to share it with you because some of you might be super interested and want that. Oh yes, the enabling, I know. But you know, we all have different interests, and a lot of you follow me don't actually sew along with what I'm making. So I like to show you things that might interest you. Remember, when you use my links, you support my small family business because we get a small commission. Use my shopping page to find all the different businesses that I work with. Okay. If you are sewing along on this one, I can't wait to see your blocks, your piece and quilt. They are just coming out so cute with these fabrics. I love them. I love them. And if you have a strawberry quilt today, or a quilt with bees, any kind of bee, doesn't have to be just this one, share it in the group Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.